Hello, tubes of you. I have a little bit of an extra video tonight. Let me turn this on so you guys can see me a little bit better. If it'll actually get plugged in. Got my ring light. So there we go. Oh, that's bright. Okay. Gonna turn the mode down. I had something amazing happen, and I'm in my closet, obviously. But my piano is here in my closet. It's not that great of a setup, but we got to work with what we got to work with. You know, our house is just not big enough to have a piano room. But anyways, I was learning how to play this song, and the name of it is Pure, and I can't think of who the person is who wrote the song. If I could think of it, I would definitely say her name. But anyways, if you know, let me know who it's by, because I can't think of it off the top of my head. But anyways, I was sitting here in this very room playing my piano the other day, and I was just learning that song. And it's a fairly easy song to learn. There's not too many chords to it. So I picked it up pretty quick, and I'm just playing it, and as I'm playing it, I'm just like getting so into the spirit and just not focusing on anything else in this world. And I'm just thinking, I'm just gonna sit here and play the piano like I did as a little kid and just worship the Lord without worrying about what anybody else is thinking. And as I am doing that, guys, I can't even make this stuff up. I'm about to get emotional even saying this. This is just the most beautiful thing. I heard an angel singing behind me, and it scared me at first. So I was playing, and I went like this, and I was like, whoa, because it scared me. And it's almost like if you have a friend come up behind you and you're singing a song and they want to do a duet with you, but they don't let you know, but they just kind of jump in with you. It can startle you a little bit at first. And the reason why I knew this wasn't something demonic, this was angelic, is because I felt an overwhelming amount of peace. I did not feel scared about this, just a little bit startled initially. And I was like, God, I'll keep playing the song, do it again if you want to. And nothing happened, but I just thought that was so amazing, and I had to share it with you and encourage some of you, hopefully. It's the moments like that where we're just praising the Lord, and we're not focusing on what this world thinks and what is going on, and we just get into our quiet place with the Lord and just spend time in His presence. That's when amazing things happen. And it's not like a moment that you're going to get to record on your phone and share with everybody else. It's just something personal that you have for the Lord. But as I was singing this song, there's a part that says, "Find me like a child again, full of wonder, full of innocence." And that is near and dear to my heart, because whenever I was young, I played the piano, and I didn't play it for looks. I would come home after school and I would just spend hours playing the piano because it was my time to worship God. And honestly, it was just a stress relief from everything that I had gone through for the day, because school was not my best time in my life. And I would just lean into God and spend time just playing the piano. And it wasn't so I could make a video and share it with other people. It wasn't so I could become the world's next big star. I just would focus on being in the presence of God. And I found myself getting back into that again, of just wanting the real, authentic, just worship and presence of God, just dwelling in His presence, because that's what matters. And I'm telling you, if you've never felt the presence of God and you've never experienced it before, no high could compare. There is nothing like the feeling. I feel the Holy Spirit right now, and yeah, you can feel the Holy Spirit when you get around other people. Maybe sometimes you hear somebody sing a really pretty song at church, and you start to feel the Spirit off of them. But I guess the reason and the point of making this video is for you to know that it's in those moments, however it is. Maybe it's not playing the piano for you. Maybe it's just praying. But if we just spend that time with the Lord and honestly just get off of our phones, because our phones will take up a lot of the time. And that's what I found myself getting into this season of life where I just got so busy. I thought I was too busy for God, but my phone was taking up a lot of that time in reality. And I've been trying to cut back on my screen time and take time to worship and make it a priority. And I find myself like a child again. And I'm not talking about the world the way they talk about, being a child, because we hear an adult acting like a child. The world looks at that as, you're one of those weirdos. I'm not going to get into that. But anyways, that's not the kind of childlike mindset I'm talking about. What I mean by being like a child again is just going back to that innocent worship of not doing it for looks, not doing it so other people will see you, and not seeing it because there's anything to gain from it, just like the song says, just being in the presence of the Lord, just because you want to be in the presence of the Lord, because the presence of the Lord is great. And it's a wonderful feeling. And no, we shouldn't be controlled by our emotions and feelings, because I do understand that argument. People can be overly emotional and they can be controlled by their emotions. But there is a season for everything, and sometimes just laying out that emotion before the Lord will bless you. And it's not for anybody else to see you. It's not so you can start something with this. It's just for you to feel close to the Father. But I thought that was so amazing. This is a short video tonight, but I had to share that. And I hope it happens again, because that was incredible. And I've never before in my life experienced anything like that. I've heard of people saying, like worship leaders, when they were singing in a big group, they could hear angels singing, but I've never actually experienced an angel singing with me before. And I'm telling you, I was shocked. I was so shocked. And I'm not saying that to brag on myself. Please don't take it that way, because it's not me. It's all God. But I just was spending time. And I think that's what the world needs to get back to. What Christians we need to get back to, right, is to spend time with God and just allow Him to have His will with us. Because when we spend time with God, when we actually try to cultivate a relationship with the Lord, some of that is the best moments you will ever have in life. Whenever I was probably 15 years old, I had a moment where I went to a church camp, and I was singing my heart out at this church camp. And I stopped focusing on what everybody else around me thought. And, I had braces in and I had a retainer in my mouth, so I probably had a little bit of a lisp at the time when I sung. But I didn't care what the people around me thought. I just thought, I'm going to worship the Lord. The song, is a song about worshiping the Lord. I'm going to sing my heart out to God. And I was singing to the top of my lungs. But that is when the Holy Spirit fell on me, and that is the first time that I ever felt the presence of the Holy Spirit like that. And I want to get back to that. And I want you to have that. I want there to be more experiences of the Holy Spirit falling on the church. And I think a way for us to do that is to start at home and to make it a priority to just fall in love with the presence of the Lord. Just fall in love with spending time devoted solely to God, and not thinking about what you can profit from it, what you can gain. Just to be in His presence because His presence is good. All right, guys. I hope that encourages somebody. Maybe you've been scrolling on your phone too long and God sent this before you to say get in his presence, because you will not regret it. I promise you. All right. I love y'all. Good night.